Over the past few weeks, I've been exploring whether machine learning can be used inside games made with GDevelop. Training your own AI and watching it gradually learn the behavior you want is honestly a really fun and exciting experience. However, my conclusion at this point is, unless you have a very specific reason, using machine learning in your game isn't especially useful. Here are the main reasons why. In most cases, it's faster and more reliable to use events instead of training an AI. For things like pathfinding or board game opponents, specialized logic works better. NPCs that learn during gameplay require a huge amount of training, which makes them impractical. Situations where you need to evaluate many complex factors at once are actually quite rare in typical GDevelop games. Develop's time-based movement system can slow down training significantly. The biggest reason is simple. Event-based logic is just more efficient and stable. For example, imagine you want to create an NPC in a 3D game that moves toward a target and jumps over obstacles. If you use AI, you need to feed it information like the distance and direction to the target, whether there are obstacles, and then let it choose actions. On top of that, you also need to design a system that evaluates its behavior and gives it feedback. In other words, you have to build a fairly complex system just to get started. But if you use events, you can create very similar behavior with just a few simple actions. And with AI, that's only the beginning. You still need to run a huge number of training attempts, which takes a lot of time. And in most cases, you won't get good results on the first try. A very common problem is that the AI finds unexpected ways to get a high score. For example, if you only give points based on how close the AI gets to the goal, it may stop right before reaching it. This is because staying near the goal lets it keep earning points, while reaching the goal ends the run. In some cases, if the AI thinks it can't succeed, it may even fail on purpose just to restart faster. These problems often don't appear until training has progressed quite a bit. And once you fix them, you usually have to start training all over again. This process tends to repeat over and over. And even after all that effort, the final result can still be worse than a simple event-based system written in just a few lines. At first, I also thought this could be useful for pathfinding. But in practice, dedicated algorithms like A* are much easier to use and give better results. Because of all this, I currently believe that the benefits of using machine learning in games are quite limited. That said, training AI itself is still a very enjoyable experience. Watching an NPC evolve from random movement into something with incredibly fast reactions and smart decisions is genuinely fascinating. At the same time, it also made me realize just how powerful Develop's event system really is, since you can often achieve similar results much more easily. So while the results of this experiment may not be very positive, it would be a waste to just leave the AI extension I built and used. If you have any ideas for how machine learning could be used effectively in games, feel free to share them in the comments. Thanks for watching.